My child, I almost said nothing today. I almost remained silent because I thought you were too busy for me. Too busy to notice my whispers. Too busy to recognize my hand reaching toward you. Too busy to pause long enough to hear the words your soul has been starving for. But my love for you would not allow me to stay silent. So I am speaking again, not because I need your attention, but because you need my voice more than you realize. Before you scroll away, understand this. Your eyes did not fall upon this message by chance. Out of all the words you could have seen today, you stopped here. That pause was not random. It was arranged. I have been calling your heart in ways you may not have recognized, in quiet moments, through unexpected thoughts, through unanswered longings, through the restlessness you could never quite explain. And now, once again, I am calling your name. I know how full your days have become. I have seen you rushing from one responsibility to another, carrying burdens no one else fully understands. I have watched you answer everyone else's needs while your own heart quietly grew weary. You have told yourself you'll spend time with me later when life settles down, when the pressure eases, when tomorrow finally becomes less demanding. But tomorrow has kept moving farther away, and your spirit has continued to thirst. Beloved, I am not speaking these words to make you feel guilty. I am speaking because I miss the closeness we once shared. I miss the moments when you trusted me before fear, when you sought my peace before the world's opinions, when your first instinct was not anxiety but prayer. Even now, I have not walked away from you. I have remained beside you through every distraction, every disappointment, every season when your attention was pulled in 1,000 different directions. My presence never left, even when your focus did. If you leave this message now, you may dismiss it as just another video, another thought, another passing moment. But if you remain, if you allow your heart to become still for just these next few minutes, you may discover that what you have been searching for is not another answer, another opportunity, or another solution. You may discover that what your soul has been longing for is my presence, the very presence that has been patiently waiting for you all along. I see the silent exhaustion you hide behind your smile. I hear the prayers you never finished because you were interrupted by another obligation. I know the ache you have carried while telling everyone around you that you're fine. Nothing about your struggle has escaped my sight. Nothing about your pain has been ignored. And despite every moment you felt distant from me, I have continued drawing near to you with mercy that never runs dry. So do not rush past this invitation. Do not mistake my persistence for pressure. It is love. A love that refuses to give up on you. A love that keeps knocking, not to demand your attention, but to restore your heart. Because what I am about to tell you may change the way you see your busyness, your burdens, and even this very moment. Listen closely, my beloved, because this is where my message to you truly begins. My child, there is something I have wanted to tell you for a long time. Today was not very different from many other days. You woke up with things already on your mind. Before the day had fully begun, your attention was pulled toward responsibilities, plans, concerns, and the endless list of things waiting for you. I watched you move through it all, trying your best to keep up. I know you are carrying a lot. I know there are pressures you rarely talk about and expectations that seem to follow you everywhere. I am not criticizing you for any of that. I understand your life more completely than anyone else ever could. What quietly touches my heart is how often you move through your day without realizing I am right there beside you. There was a moment today when everything slowed down for just a second. It was small enough that you may not even remember it now. Your mind became still for a brief moment before another thought arrived. That little space could have become a conversation between us, It could have been a moment where you let me into what you were feeling. Instead, the day continued moving, and you continued carrying everything yourself. Please understand something. I am not hurt because you failed me. I am not sitting at a distance keeping score of how much time you spend with me. My concern is much deeper than that. I see how tired you have become. I see how much energy you spend trying to hold everything together. Sometimes you tell yourself that when life becomes less busy, you will spend more time with me. Yet the seasons keep changing, and somehow there is always something demanding your attention. You were never meant to live that way. I did not create you to survive on constant pressure. I did not design your heart to carry every burden alone. The reason I keep drawing near to you is not because I need something from you. It is because I know what happens when you try to navigate life without allowing me into the middle of it. The weight becomes heavier than it needs to be. The worries stay longer than they should. The peace you are searching for feels just out of reach. I am still here, my child. I have not become distant. I have not lost interest in you. Even when you forget to make room for me, I continue walking beside you. The invitation remains the same as it has always been. Slow down for a moment. Let me into the thoughts you usually keep to yourself. You do not have to carry everything before coming to me. You only need to remember that I am already here, waiting for the moments we almost shared. My child, there is a phrase I have heard from your heart many times, even when you never spoke it aloud. It sounds simple. It sounds reasonable. It sounds harmless. You tell yourself later. You tell yourself that when things calm down, when the pressure eases, when you finish what is in front of you, you will make more room for me. From your perspective, it feels temporary. You are not trying to push me away. You simply believe there will be a better moment waiting ahead. What you may not realize is how quickly those moments become months and how easily months become years. I have watched you postpone conversations with me because something else felt more urgent. You convinced yourself that one more task needed your attention first. One more responsibility needed to be handled. One more problem needed to be solved. Yet every time you reached the end of one demand, another one appeared. The finish line kept moving. The calendar kept filling. The opportunity you planned to give me never seemed to arrive. I want you to stop for a moment and think about something. How many times have you reached a goal you once thought would finally bring relief, only to discover another burden waiting on the other side? How many times have you promised yourself that peace was just beyond the next accomplishment? You have worked hard, and I see every effort. Yet part of you still feels like you are chasing something that never stays still. Come closer and listen to me carefully. The connection your soul is craving will never be found in a future version of your life. It is available right now. You do not need a perfect schedule before you come to me. You do not need fewer problems. You do not need to organize every part of your life first. Bring your unfinished thoughts to me. Bring your uncertainty to me. Bring the version of yourself that feels stretched thin and emotionally tired. I am inviting you to stop waiting for a better time to know me more deeply. Open your heart where you are. Let me meet you in the middle of ordinary days. Let me walk beside you while the responsibilities still exist. Do not keep placing our relationship on tomorrow's calendar. Tomorrow has taken enough from you already. Take a moment today. Give me your attention, even if it feels small. You may discover that what you have been searching for in the future has been waiting beside you all along. My child, sometimes you imagine that I do not understand the realities of your life. You look at your schedule, your obligations, your financial concerns, your responsibilities toward family, work, and countless other demands, and part of you quietly assumes that spending time with me belongs in a different category. You see me as separate from those things, as though I am asking you to choose between your responsibilities and your relationship with me. That has never been my heart toward you. I know exactly what weighs on your mind when you wake up in the morning. I know which conversations make you nervous. I know the deadlines that keep replaying in your thoughts. I know the pressure you feel to succeed, the fear of disappointing others, and the silent concern that you may not have enough strength to carry everything that has been placed before you. That is why I wish you would stop trying to hide those burdens from me. You often come to me only after you have exhausted yourself. You wait until the stress becomes overwhelming. You wait until your heart feels heavy and your mind feels crowded. Yet I have been inviting you to bring those concerns to me from the very beginning. I never intended for our conversations to happen only during emergencies. Let me into the details of your day. Invite me into the decisions that seem small. Include me in the challenges you think you should handle on your own. Speak to me while you are driving, working, planning, or worrying. I am not limited to special moments. I am present in every part of your life. There is something I want you to understand. The pace of your life has convinced you that caring more proves your value. Many people around you celebrate exhaustion as though it were a badge of honor. You have been surrounded by messages that tell you your worth is measured by your productivity. That way of living slowly drains the heart. It asks you to keep giving without ever receiving the rest your spirit needs. Come and sit with me for a moment. Lay down the pressure you have been carrying. Release the expectation that you must hold everything together by yourself. Allow me to remind you that you are more than your performance, more than your accomplishments, and more than the roles you fill each day. You do not have to earn my attention. You already have it. You do not have to prove your worth. I already know it. Open the door a little wider, my child. Invite me into the places where stress has been speaking the loudest. I will not add to your burdens. I will help you carry them. My child, I want you to remember something with me. Do not force the memory. Just allow your heart to wander back for a moment. There was a season in your life when reaching for me felt natural. You did not analyze every thought before bringing it to me. You did not wonder whether the moment was important enough to share. You simply talked to me. Sometimes it happened during quiet moments. Sometimes it happened in the middle of ordinary days. You carried an awareness that I was near, and because of that, our connection felt simple. As time passed, life became more complicated. You gained responsibilities. You experienced disappointments. You learned how demanding the world could be. Little by little, your attention became divided. Without realizing it, you started approaching our relationship differently. Instead of sharing your heart freely, you began carrying more things alone. Instead of inviting me into your daily life, you reserved certain parts of yourself and told yourself you would come back later. Come closer and listen carefully. I am not speaking about your past because I want you to feel regret. I am reminding you because there is something valuable hidden there. The version of you that sought me naturally was not stronger than you are today. That version of you simply trusted me more freely. There was less pressure to perform. There was less concern about saying the right thing. You approached me as someone who knew they were loved. I want you to return to that place. Not by turning back the clock. Not by pretending life is simpler than it is. I am inviting you to recover that openness. Set down the idea that every conversation with me must be formal. Stop believing that you need perfect conditions before you draw near. Open your heart exactly where you are. Bring me your confusion. Bring me your unfinished thoughts. Bring me your frustrations. Let me meet the real version of you rather than the polished version you think I expect. You may believe too much time has passed. You may feel that the distance has become too great. Yet from where I stand, I still see the same child I have always loved. I still recognize your voice. I still understand your heart. The connection you miss has not disappeared. It has simply been waiting beneath the noise. Take a step toward me today. Make room for one honest conversation. Do not overthink it. Do not postpone it. Let your heart remember what it feels like to speak with me naturally again. You may be surprised by how quickly that familiar closeness begins to return. And my child, as you begin opening your heart to me again, understand that every act of obedience becomes a light for someone else who is still lost in the noise. There are weary souls searching for my voice at this very moment, and I am using this message to reach them before their hearts grow colder beneath the weight of distraction. When you sow into this mission through Super Thanks, membership, or through the PayPal link in the description, you are pouring oil into a lamp that refuses to go out. Did I not say, "Give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over"? I am breathing upon every seed placed in faith, and I will multiply what is released from a willing heart. This is not merely support for a video. This is participation in a harvest of souls, a river of truth flowing into homes filled with loneliness, fear, and spiritual exhaustion. I am inviting you personally to help carry my voice farther while there is still time. Do not delay what I am stirring within you. Give now, sow now, and become part of the work I am blessing in this hour. My child, there is a question I want you to consider honestly. When was the last time you gave me your attention before giving it to everything else? I ask this gently because I know your intentions have never been to push me aside. Yet somewhere along the journey, our relationship slowly moved into the spaces left over after everything else had already claimed your time. You give your energy to work. You give your attention to responsibilities. You respond to demands, solve problems, meet expectations, and carry obligations. By the time you finally reach a quiet moment, there is often very little left of you to give. You are mentally tired. You are emotionally drained. You tell yourself you will spend time with me when you feel more focused, but that moment rarely arrives. I see the pattern because I have walked beside you through every part of it. What saddens me is not the amount of time we spend together. My concern is what this pattern has been doing to your heart. When our connection becomes something you squeeze into the remaining spaces, you begin to live as though I am separate from the most important parts of your life. You stop bringing me into your decisions. You stop inviting me into your worries. You stop expecting my presence in ordinary moments. That is never what I wanted for you. I do not want a small corner of your life. I want to walk with you through all of it. Invite me into the meeting that makes you anxious. Bring me into the situation you can't control. Talk to me while you are making plans. Ask me for wisdom before the pressure becomes overwhelming. Stop treating my presence like an appointment that can only happen when your schedule allows it. Look carefully at your life for a moment. Some of the things demanding your constant attention today will not even matter a few years from now. Yet your soul continues to thirst for something deeper. You have felt it. There are moments when you accomplish everything you planned and still feel unsettled afterward. There are days when you complete every task and yet something inside you remains unsatisfied. Come and sit with that truth. Allow yourself to recognize what your heart has been trying to tell you. You were created for more than productivity. You were created for relationship. Let me back into the center of your life instead of leaving me at the edges. Open the door wider. Make space for me before exhaustion arrives. Give me your first thoughts instead of only your leftover strength. I am not asking for perfection. I am inviting you into something better. Let us walk together again, not in the gaps between your life, but in the middle of it. My child, there is something tender on my heart that I want to share with you. Throughout your days, I hear every conversation you have. I hear the words you speak to family members, coworkers, friends, and strangers. I hear the concerns you express, the frustrations you vent, the plans you discuss, and the dreams you describe. I know what occupies your thoughts because I have been present for every moment of your life. Nothing about you is hidden from me. Yet there have been many days when I listened to you talk about everything except what was happening inside your heart. You have shared your worries with people who could not carry them. You have searched for answers from people who were just as uncertain as you were. You have spent hours replaying situations in your mind, analyzing conversations, predicting outcomes, and trying to solve problems from every possible angle. Meanwhile, I remain beside you, waiting for you to turn toward me and speak openly. Please do not misunderstand me. I am not jealous of the people in your life. Many of them are gifts I have placed along your path. What grieves me is seeing you exhaust yourself searching everywhere for peace while leaving untouched the relationship where peace actually lives. Come closer for a moment. Be honest with me. You do not need polished prayers. You do not need carefully chosen words. Set aside the pressure to sound spiritual. Open your heart and speak to me the way you would speak to someone who loves you completely. Tell me what you are afraid of. Tell me what has disappointed you. Tell me where you feel overwhelmed. Invite me into the places you usually keep guarded. I already know those places exist, my child. The difference is that healing begins when you stop carrying them alone. Look at your life for a moment. How many hours have been spent worrying about situations you could not control? How much energy has been invested in seeking approval, understanding, or reassurance from people who were never designed to meet the deepest needs of your soul? I am inviting you to bring those needs to me instead. Come and sit with me. Let the noise settle. Stop rehearsing every possible outcome. Release the burden of having all the answers. Give me your honest thoughts rather than your filtered ones. The conversation I am asking for is not complicated. It is simply real. I have listened patiently through every season. Now I am inviting you to listen as well. Make room for my voice. Let me speak into the questions that have been echoing through your heart. You may discover that the answer you have been chasing has been waiting for you in my presence all along. My child, I need you to look carefully at something that has slowly taken root in your thinking. Over time, you have been surrounded by messages that celebrate constant activity. You live in a world that often measures success by how occupied you are, how much you accomplish, and how many responsibilities you can carry at once. Without realizing it, you have started believing that a full schedule automatically means a full life. Those two things are not the same. I have watched you race from one responsibility to another. I have seen you cross one finish line only to immediately focus on the next one. There is always another task waiting, another goal demanding attention, another expectation asking for your energy. The pace can become so normal that you stop questioning whether it is actually leading you where you want to go. Pause here and consider something. A train can move at incredible speed and still travel in the wrong direction. Activity by itself does not guarantee fulfillment. Effort by itself does not create peace. Achievement by itself cannot satisfy the deeper places within your soul. That is why there have been moments when you accomplished exactly what you wanted and still felt unsettled afterward. You expected the promotion to solve something. You expected the completed project to bring lasting relief. You expected reaching a certain point to quiet the restlessness inside you. Instead, the satisfaction faded more quickly than you imagined. Another mountain appeared on the horizon, and the climb began again. Come and be honest with yourself. Have the courage to ask whether the life you are building is nourishing your soul or merely consuming your energy. Do not avoid that question. Sit with it. Let it challenge you. Invite me into the answer. I am not telling you to abandon your responsibilities. I am asking you to stop measuring your worth by how exhausted you become. You are more valuable than your productivity. You are more than the tasks you complete and the roles you fulfill. Your identity was never meant to be built upon endless performance. Take a deep breath and release that pressure. Lay it down before me. Allow me to remind you who you are beyond your achievements. Let me show you that fulfillment grows from connection, purpose, and presence rather than constant motion. Come closer, my child. Slow your pace enough to hear what your heart has been trying to tell you. Stop chasing the illusion that busier always means better. Choose what truly matters. Make room for me again. When you do, you will begin discovering a kind of peace that no accomplishment can manufacture and no disappointment can take away. My child, I want you to step back with me for a moment and look at your life from a different perspective. Come away from the noise, even if only in your thoughts. Set aside the urgency of today and allow me to show you something that is often difficult to see when you are standing in the middle of it. Many of the things that consume your attention right now feel enormous. They demand your energy. They occupy your thoughts. They convince you that they must be solved immediately. Yet if you could see your life through my eyes, you would notice how many of those concerns are temporary shadows pretending to be permanent mountains. You spend hours thinking about situations that may never unfold the way you fear. You carry conversations in your mind long after they have ended. You revisit mistakes, replay disappointments, and worry about outcomes that remain outside your control. All the while, precious moments continue passing by. Days become weeks. Weeks become years. Before you realize it, entire seasons have slipped through your hands. I do not tell you this to make you feel guilty. I tell you this because I want to free you. Look carefully at some of the things that once felt overwhelming. Remember the situations that convinced you your future was in danger. Think about the moments that stole your sleep and consumed your attention. Many of those things are no longer part of your life. Some disappeared completely. Others worked themselves out in ways you never expected. Yet during those seasons they occupied so much of your heart that there was little room left for peace. Now listen to me closely. Do not hand your future to temporary worries. Do not allow passing concerns to steal permanent treasures. Lift your eyes. Come and sit with me. Let me help you distinguish between what is urgent and what is truly important. Invite me into the thoughts that keep circling through your mind. Bring me the fears that have been demanding your attention. Take a breath and release them. You do not have to carry every concern as though it determines your destiny. Your life is larger than today's problem. Your purpose is deeper than today's pressure. The story I am writing with your life extends far beyond the challenges standing in front of you right now. Walk with me through this day. Trust me with what you cannot control. Give your attention to what truly matters. Hold loosely what is temporary and hold tightly to what nourishes your soul. Years from now, you may not remember many of the worries that currently consume you, but you will never regret the moments you spent close to me. My child, many of the worries consuming your attention today will fade like mist in the morning sun, but what is done for my kingdom will endure long after the season passes away. Every message that draws a soul back toward my presence becomes eternal fruit that cannot be measured by earthly eyes. When you support this mission through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link waiting in the description, you are planting seeds into ground that I myself am watering. I see every giver. I see every sacrifice. And just as I fed multitudes with a few loaves and fish, I know how to multiply what is placed into my hands. Some are too exhausted to pray, too wounded to seek me, yet through your generosity this word reaches them like manna in a dry wilderness. I tell you now, this moment is not accidental. It is a divine invitation to loosen your grip on temporary things and invest in what heaven calls eternal. Act now, my child, and let your giving become part of the miracle I'm unfolding across countless lives. My child, there is a misunderstanding that has quietly settled into your heart, and I want to gently remove it. Somewhere along the way, you began believing that you needed to become a better version of yourself before drawing closer to me. You started thinking that certain struggles needed to be conquered first. Certain habits needed to disappear. Certain questions needed to be answered. You convinced yourself that once you reached a higher place spiritually, emotionally, or personally, then you would come to me more freely. But that was never my invitation. I have never been waiting for a perfect version of you. I have never stood at a distance asking you to fix yourself before approaching me. If perfection were the requirement, you would spend your entire life trying to qualify for a relationship that was always meant to begin with grace. Come closer and hear my heart. I already know your strengths and your weaknesses. I know the areas where you feel confident and the areas where you quietly struggle. I know the thoughts you wish you did not have. I know the mistakes that still trouble you. None of those things surprise me. None of them cause me to withdraw my love from you. But I have desired all along is something much simpler. I wanted you to walk with me. I wanted you to bring your imperfect days to me. I wanted you to invite me into the moments when you felt uncertain. I wanted you to stop carrying the burden of self-improvement as though your worth depended on your progress. Your value was established long before you proved anything. Please stop exhausting yourself trying to earn what has already been offered. Lay down the pressure. Release the need to appear stronger than you feel. Stop hiding the parts of your life that need healing. Open the door and let me into those places. Let me walk beside you through the process instead of waiting until the process is complete. You do not need to arrive before you begin. Look at your life honestly. Some of the distance you feel from me has not been created by failure. It has been created by hesitation. You have been standing outside the conversation because you believed you needed to prepare yourself first. Come now. Bring your questions. Bring your fears. Bring your unfinished story. Bring the parts of yourself you still wish were different. Sit with me. Walk with me. Trust me enough to let me accompany you through the journey instead of waiting until you believe you have finally reached the destination. That is all I have ever asked of you, my child. Not perfection. Simply your willingness to let me walk beside you. My child, I see something in you that many people around you do not see. They notice your effort. They see your responsibilities. They watch you continue moving forward, handling what needs to be handled, carrying obligations that others may never fully understand. From the outside, it can appear as though you are managing everything well. Yet I see beyond appearances. I see what happens when the day becomes quiet. I see the weariness that settles into your heart. I see the fatigue that sleep alone has not been able to heal. There have been times when you reached the end of a long day and wondered why you still felt empty after accomplishing so much. You completed the tasks. You met the expectations. You solved the problems in front of you. Yet instead of feeling deeply satisfied, you felt drained. Part of you expected achievement to refill what had been poured out. Instead, you discovered that accomplishment and renewal are not the same thing. Come closer and let me explain something that your heart has been trying to tell you. You were never created to function like a machine. You were not designed to endlessly produce, perform, and push forward without receiving nourishment for your soul. Yet that is exactly what you have been trying to do. You have been giving and giving, solving and serving, striving and sacrificing, hoping that eventually your efforts would create the peace you have been longing for. Peace does not grow from exhaustion. Restoration does not come from carrying more. The reason you feel weary is not because you are weak. It is because you have been pouring out from a place that desperately needs replenishment. Your soul has been asking for something that accomplishments cannot provide. It has been asking for connection. It has been asking for presence. It has been asking for me. Stop for a moment. Set down the pressure to keep proving yourself. Release the belief that your value increases every time you achieve another goal. Sit with me and allow yourself to breathe again. Let my presence reach the places that constant activity has left neglected. Bring me your exhaustion instead of hiding it behind productivity. Do not rush away from this invitation. Come and rest your heart in me. Let me remind you that you are loved before you accomplish anything. Let me show you that your worth remains unchanged on your busiest days and your quietest ones. You do not have to earn rest. You do not have to deserve my presence. Simply come closer and let me restore what endless striving has been unable to repair. My child, there is a truth living quietly inside your heart, and even though you have tried to ignore it at times, it continues speaking. Your spirit knows the difference between achievement and connection. Your mind may become distracted by goals, deadlines, and ambitions, but deep within you there is a place that recognizes when something essential is missing. You have experienced moments when you finally obtained something you worked hard to reach. Perhaps it was a promotion, recognition, financial progress, personal success, or a goal that required months or even years of effort. For a little while, the accomplishment felt exciting. You celebrated it. You enjoyed it. You appreciated what it represented. Yet after the excitement faded, you found yourself facing a familiar question. Now what? That question appears because achievement was never meant to become the foundation of your identity. I am not against your goals. I delight in seeing you grow, learn, and develop the gifts I placed within you. What concerns me is when you begin expecting accomplishments to provide what only relationship can give. Success can open doors. Success can create opportunities. Success can improve circumstances. Yet success cannot sit with you during your lonely moments. Success cannot comfort your heart when disappointment arrives. Success cannot remind you who you are when self-doubt begins whispering lies. Only genuine connection can do that. That is why your spirit keeps reaching for something deeper. It is why certain victories leave you feeling strangely incomplete. It is why some of your happiest moments still carried a quiet awareness that there had to be more. Your soul recognizes what your schedule often overlooks. Listen carefully now. Stop searching for permanent fulfillment in temporary achievements. Enjoy the blessings I place in your life, but do not build your identity upon them. Bring your dreams to me. Invite me into your ambitions. Let me walk beside you as you pursue your goals. Allow your relationship with me to become the foundation beneath everything else. Come and sit with me today. Open your heart. Let me remind you who you are apart from your accomplishments. Receive my love without trying to earn it. Trust my presence even when you are not producing results. Let me teach you how to live from connection instead of constantly chasing validation. Your spirit already knows the difference. Now allow your heart to embrace it as well. The fulfillment you have been searching for is not waiting at the top of the next mountain. It is waiting in the relationship that has been beside you the entire journey. My child, There have been seasons when you were convinced that a particular milestone would finally bring the satisfaction you were searching for. You set your eyes on a goal and poured your energy into reaching it. You imagined how different life would feel once you arrived. You pictured the relief, the joy, the sense of completion that would surely come when the waiting was over. And the day arrived. You achieved what you had hoped for. You reached the place you once dreamed about. For a little while your heart felt lighter. You celebrated the victory. You appreciated the progress. You enjoyed the reward that came after the effort. Yet somewhere beneath the excitement, another feeling quietly appeared. It was subtle at first, difficult to explain. You began realizing that the thing you fought so hard to obtain had not filled the deeper place within you. I watched that moment unfold. I saw you wondering why the satisfaction faded more quickly than expected. I saw you immediately searching for the next goal, the next mountain, the next achievement. Part of you hoped the next destination would finally provide what the previous one could not. Come and sit with me for a moment. Let us speak honestly about this. The emptiness you occasionally feel after reaching a milestone is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is evidence that your soul was designed for something greater than accomplishments alone. You can enjoy success. You can celebrate progress. You can pursue meaningful goals. Yet none of those things were ever meant to become the source of your deepest fulfillment. Your heart carries an eternal design. That is why temporary victories cannot permanently satisfy it. Look back over your life and notice the pattern. Some of the things you once believed would change everything now occupy only a small place in your memory. What seemed enormous at the time gradually became another chapter in your story. Yet through every season, one need remained unchanged. Your need for connection. Your need for purpose. Your need for my presence. Stop chasing fulfillment as though it is hiding behind the next accomplishment. Stop believing that one more achievement will finally quiet every longing within you. Bring your dreams to me. Let me guide your ambitions. Allow me to become the center rather than the reward waiting at the end. Come closer. Rest your heart here. Let me show you that the satisfaction you seek is not found at the finish line of another goal. It is found in walking with me while you pursue the life I have given you. My child, you now understand that no achievement on earth can fully satisfy the longing I placed within your soul, because your heart was created to carry eternity. That is why I am calling you to invest not only in temporary success, but in the spreading of my living word to those still wandering empty and unseen. Every super thanks, every membership, and every gift through the PayPal link in the description becomes a seed of fire placed into this mission, helping my voice reach hearts standing at the edge of despair. Have I not declared that those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed? I am watching over every generous act, and I will cause blessings to rise in places where you once experienced lack and delay. Do not underestimate what your obedience can do. One act of giving can become the doorway through which another soul rediscovers hope, purpose, and closeness with me again. I am inviting you to stop chasing fulfillment through endless striving and instead become part of something eternal and alive. So now, support this work now, and allow your generosity to echo far beyond your own life. My child, there is a kind of loneliness that confuses many hearts. It appears in crowded rooms. It follows people who are surrounded by family and friends. It can sit beside you during conversations, celebrations, and accomplishments. Because of that, it often leaves you wondering what is wrong. You look around and see people in your life. You see messages on your phone. You see relationships, responsibilities, and activity all around you. Yet there are moments when a quiet emptiness still settles over your heart. I know those moments. I have been with you through every one of them. You sometimes assume loneliness is simply the absence of people, but that is not always true. Some forms of loneliness come from disconnection rather than isolation. They emerge when your soul longs for something deeper than surface-level interaction. You can spend an entire day communicating with others and still feel unseen in the places that matter most. I see those hidden places. I see the thoughts you never speak aloud. I see the concerns you keep to yourself because you are tired of explaining them. I see the questions you carry beneath your smile. I see the part of you that wishes someone could understand completely without requiring a lengthy explanation. Come closer and hear me carefully. That longing inside you is not weakness. It is not failure. It is a reminder that your heart was created for genuine connection. It is a signal pointing towards something your soul needs. Many people respond to that feeling by becoming busier. They fill every empty space with activity, entertainment, conversations, or distractions. Yet loneliness cannot always be solved by adding more voices. Sometimes it is healed by listening to the right one. I'm inviting you to stop running from the quiet moments. Sit with me there. Bring your loneliness into my presence instead of hiding it beneath constant activity. Let me speak into the places where you feel unseen. Let me remind you that you are fully known. Do not rush away from this invitation. Open your heart. Allow yourself to be honest about what you are feeling. Stop pretending that constant connection with people automatically satisfies the deeper needs of your spirit. There are parts of you that only I can reach because I am the one who created them. Come and spend time with me. Let me fill the spaces that no accomplishment, conversation, or distraction has been able to reach. You are not as alone as you sometimes feel. Even in the moments when loneliness seems to surround you, I am nearer than you realize, waiting for you to recognize that I have been beside you all along. My child, there have been days when something felt off inside you, yet you could not explain why. Nothing dramatic had happened. The day may have looked completely normal from the outside. Your responsibilities were being handled. Your conversations continued as usual. Life kept moving forward. Yet beneath all of that, there was a quiet ache you could not quite name. You tried to ignore it. You told yourself it would pass. You assumed you were simply tired or stressed. Sometimes that explanation is true. Sometimes it is not. There are moments when what you are feeling is your soul recognizing my absence from the center of your attention. Not because I have left you. I have never left you. What changes is your awareness of me. Just as a person can become so focused on a destination that they stop noticing the beauty around them, you can become so occupied with life that you lose sight of the relationship that gives life its deepest meaning. I see those moments, my child. I see when you search for relief through distractions that only provide temporary comfort. I see when you fill your mind with noise because silence feels unfamiliar. I see when you keep moving because slowing down might force you to acknowledge what your heart has been quietly missing. Come closer and listen carefully. The longing you sometimes feel is not your enemy. It is not something to run from. It is an invitation. It is your soul reaching toward the connection it was created to have. Instead of immediately covering that feeling with more activity, stop for a moment. Sit with it. Bring it to me. Ask yourself what your heart is truly seeking. Then invite me into that space. Do not be afraid of the answer. There is a reason some forms of satisfaction fade quickly while my presence continues calling to you. The things of this world can entertain your mind for a season, but they cannot fully nourish your spirit. Your soul recognizes the difference, even when your thoughts are moving too quickly to understand it. So when that unexplained restlessness appears again, do not rush past it. Pause. Open your heart. Come and spend a few moments with me. Speak honestly. Listen quietly. Allow yourself to be still long enough to notice what has been trying to get your attention. You may discover that what felt like emptiness was actually an invitation. You may realize that the missing piece was never another accomplishment, another distraction, or another solution. It was simply a reminder from deep within your spirit that you were made to walk closely with me, and your soul has never forgotten it. My child, there are evenings when the day finally comes to an end and you find yourself sitting with a feeling that is difficult to explain. You completed what needed to be done. You answered messages. You fulfilled responsibilities. You handled problems that demanded your attention. By every visible measure, the day may appear successful. Yet when the noise fades and the distractions settle, a quiet disappointment sometimes remains. I notice that feeling. You rarely talk about it. You often push it aside before fully examining it. Yet I see it clearly because I see beyond the surface of your day. I know that part of you longs for more than productivity. I know there is a place within you that wants something deeper than simply making it through another schedule packed with obligations. Come and be honest with yourself for a moment. How many times have you ended a day feeling busy but not fulfilled? How often have you invested energy into everything around you while neglecting what was happening within you? Your responsibilities matter. The people you care for matter. The work you do matters. Yet your inner life matters too. Your spirit was never designed to survive on leftovers. Imagine trying to keep a lamp burning while never adding oil. Eventually the flame begins to weaken. The light becomes less steady. The problem is not that the lamp is broken. It simply has not been replenished. In much the same way, your heart needs care, attention, and connection. That is why I keep inviting you back to me. Not because I want to add another obligation to your list. Not because I am demanding more from you. I am inviting you because I know what happens when your soul goes too long without nourishment. Weariness grows deeper. Joy becomes harder to access. Even good things lose some of their meaning. Stop for a moment and consider what your heart needs. Give yourself permission to slow down. Open your hands. Release the pressure of constantly doing. Come and sit with me. Bring me the parts of yourself that have been overlooked. Let me refresh what has become depleted. Let me speak life into the places that have been running on empty. Do not wait until exhaustion forces you to stop. Respond to the invitation now. Make room for your inner life. Nurture the relationship that sustains you. Allow me to fill what constant activity cannot fill. The day may have ended, my child, but it is not too late. Come closer. Spend time with me. Let your soul receive the care it has quietly needed for far longer than you realize. My child, there is something I need you to see clearly because it has been hidden beneath the routine of your daily life for far too long. You have become so accustomed to carrying responsibilities that you have almost forgotten there is more to life than managing them. Day after day, you wake up, handle what needs to be handled, solve what needs to be solved, and move forward to the next obligation waiting for your attention. The pattern has repeated itself so many times that it can begin to feel normal. But I did not create you merely to survive. I did not place you on this earth simply to move from one week to the next, hoping for relief while carrying an endless list of demands. Yet there have been seasons when that is exactly how life has felt to you. You focused on making it through Monday. Then you pushed toward Friday. Then you hoped the weekend would restore what the week had drained away. Before long, another week arrived, and the cycle started again. Come and look at your life with me for a moment. Step away from the pressure. Set down the constant urgency. Allow yourself to ask a question that your busy schedule rarely permits you to consider. Is this really the life your heart longs for? Is your soul thriving, or is it simply enduring? I know you have responsibilities. I know many people depend on you. I know there are obligations that cannot be ignored. I am not asking you to abandon them. I am asking you to remember that your existence carries purpose beyond them. You are more than your schedule. You are more than your obligations. You are more than the problems you solve. Lift your eyes above the routine that has become so familiar. Invite me into the middle of it. Allow me to show you where joy still lives. Allow me to remind you of dreams that have been buried beneath responsibilities. Allow me to awaken parts of your heart that have fallen asleep under the weight of constant pressure. Come closer and let me help you live rather than merely endure. Do not settle for a life that is measured only by completed tasks and crossed off lists. Make room for wonder again. Make room for gratitude. Make room for moments where your soul can breathe. Walk with me through your days instead of rushing through them alone. I have more for you than survival, my child. I have more for you than endless cycles of pressure and recovery. Open your heart. Take my hand. Let me show you a way of living where purpose, peace, and connection become part of your journey instead of distant destinations you keep hoping to reach someday. My child, I did not create you merely to survive endless cycles of pressure, and I did not raise up this message merely to comfort you for a moment before the noise returns again. I am building streams in dry places, awakening weary hearts, and calling distracted souls back into my presence while there is still time to hear my voice clearly. When you support this mission through Super Thanks, membership, or through the PayPal link in the description, you become part of that holy work. Your giving becomes oil for the lamp, bread for the hungry spirit, and water for hearts that have nearly given up. Did I not promise that whoever sows generously will also reap generously? I am able to open doors no burden could force open and release peace no schedule could ever provide. This is not just another online message passing through someone's day. This is a divine assignment reaching people who feel forgotten, exhausted, and spiritually numb. Therefore, do not ignore the stirring in your spirit. Step forward now. Give boldly, and help carry this living word into the lives I am preparing to transform. My child, when I formed you, I did not create a machine. I did not design you to spend your entire life maintaining responsibilities while neglecting the deeper needs of your heart. Yet somewhere along the journey, you began treating your soul as though it could survive indefinitely on duty alone. You learned how to keep going. You learned how to show up when you were tired. You learned how to meet expectations even when your heart felt empty. Those skills helped you through difficult seasons. They were never meant to become your permanent way of living. Listen carefully to me now. Your heart was designed for relationship. It was designed to connect, to receive, to trust, and to experience love. That design remains within you today. No amount of responsibility has erased it. No amount of disappointment has removed it. Even now, beneath the layers of pressure and routine, your heart continues reaching for the connection it was created to enjoy. That is one reason you feel weary when life becomes nothing more than obligation after obligation. Your soul knows something is missing. You may try to compensate by staying busy. You may attempt to distract yourself with activity, entertainment, or constant motion. Yet eventually the deeper need rises back to the surface. It appears as restlessness. It appears as dissatisfaction. It appears as that quiet feeling that something important has been neglected. Come and sit with me. Stop running from that feeling. Listen to what your heart has been trying to tell you. You do not need another distraction right now. You need an Etienne. You need space to receive rather than constantly give. You need moments where you stop performing and simply allow yourself to be loved. That is what I have been inviting you into. Bring me the parts of your life that feel dry. Bring me the disappointments you rarely discuss. Bring me the pressure you have been carrying. Open the door and let me into those places. Do not wait until everything is fixed before you come closer. Come exactly as you are. Let me remind you who you are beyond your responsibilities. Let me show you that relationship with me is not another obligation added to your list. It is the source from which everything else is meant to flow. It is the well your soul returns to when life has drained its strength. It is the place where your heart remembers that it was created to be known, loved, and guided. Come closer, my child. Stop treating connection as optional. Make room for it. Prioritize it. Protect it. Your heart was designed for relationship, and it will never fully rest until it finds its home in me. My child, there have been times when you quietly wondered why my voice no longer feels as clear as it once did. You remember seasons when my presence seemed easier to recognize. Guidance felt more natural. Peace arrived more quickly. Conversations between us felt alive and personal. Then, gradually, something changed. You began feeling as though I was farther away, and you could not fully understand why. I want you to hear this carefully. I did not move. I have remained exactly where I have always been. My love has not diminished. My attention has not drifted elsewhere. My desire to walk with you has not weakened. What often happens is far more subtle than people realize. Distance rarely appears overnight. It is usually built one unnoticed moment at a time. Imagine a path through a field. When you walk it daily, the trail remains clear. The direction is easy to follow. Yet if you stop walking that path for a season, grass slowly begins to grow over it. Nothing dramatic happens. No warning signs appear. But change is gradual. One day you simply notice the trail is harder to recognize than it used to be. That is often how spiritual distance develops. It is not always rebellion. It is not always rejection. More often, it begins with distraction, a postponed conversation, a neglected quiet moment, a growing habit of handling life without inviting me into it. One small joy seems insignificant, then another follows. Eventually, the connection that once felt natural begins feeling unfamiliar. Come closer and do not allow guilt to speak louder than truth. I am not telling you this to condemn you. I am inviting you to notice what has happened and respond differently. Return to the path. Open the conversation again. Make space for me in the places where busyness has crowded me out. Stop assuming that distance must remain simply because it exists today. Take a step toward me. Speak honestly. Sit quietly for a few moments and listen. Invite me back into the ordinary parts of your day. You do not need to rebuild everything at once. You do not need to manufacture spiritual feelings. Simply begin walking with me again. The path is still there. The relationship is still there. The invitation is still there. Do not stand at a distance wondering whether I am near. Come and discover it for yourself. Draw close. Open your heart. Let us begin again. You may be surprised by how quickly the voice you thought was distant becomes familiar once more. My child, very few people wake up one morning intending to drift away from what matters most. Most distances are not created through a single decision. They are formed through small patterns that seem harmless when viewed individually. That is why I want you to pay attention to something that has quietly influenced your life. The distractions themselves often appear innocent. A little less time reflecting. A little more time rushing. A habit of postponing meaningful conversations. An assumption that tomorrow will provide another opportunity. None of those choices seem significant in isolation. Yet when repeated day after day, they begin creating something you never intended. They begin creating distance. I have watched this happen in your life at times. Not because you stopped caring about me. Not because your faith disappeared. You simply became occupied with many things. Your attention was pulled in countless directions. Gradually, the noise grew louder than the relationship that once grounded your heart. Come and think about this honestly. Walls rarely appear suddenly. A single brick does not seem threatening. Yet over time, enough bricks placed in the same location create a barrier. In much the same way, repeated distractions can slowly block what was once easily accessible. Before long, you find yourself feeling disconnected and wondering how you arrived there. The encouraging truth is that walls built gradually can also be dismantled gradually. Do not become discouraged when you recognize these patterns. Instead, bring them into the light. Ask yourself where your attention has been going. Examine what has been shaping your thoughts. Notice what consistently receives your time, your energy, and your affection. Then invite me into those observations. Let me help you remove what does not belong. Let me show you what is drawing your heart away from peace. Let me guide you back toward what truly matters. You do not need to fear this process. You do not need to defend every habit simply because it has become familiar. Open your hands and allow me to reveal what is helping your relationship with me and what is quietly weakening it. Come closer now. Choose one distraction that has been competing for your attention and place it before me. Be honest about its influence. Give me permission to speak into it. Do not ignore the small things simply because they appear small. Rivers change landscapes through constant flow, not sudden force. In the same way, small choices shape the direction of your life. Invite me into those choices, my child. Walk with me intentionally. The walls do not have to remain. Together, we can remove them one brick at a time and restore the closeness your heart has been missing. Message point 20. I have stood on the other side of those walls waiting for you to notice that I never moved away, my child. There is something I need you to understand because it has shaped the way you see our relationship. When you feel distant from me, you often assume that I must have stepped back. You wonder whether I have become silent because I am disappointed. You question whether I have withdrawn because of your failures, your distractions, or the seasons when your attention was focused elsewhere. But that is not who I am. While you were building responsibilities, carrying burdens, chasing solutions, and trying to hold your life together, I remained exactly where I had always been. I did not leave when you became busy. I did not walk away when you became distracted. I did not close the door because you stopped knocking as often as you once did. I stayed. Even when your attention drifted, I stayed. Even when your prayers became less frequent, I stayed. Even when you convinced yourself that the distance was too great to overcome, I stayed. Come closer and think about this with me. Imagine a loving father standing outside the room of a child who has become overwhelmed by life. The father does not abandon the child because the door is closed. He waits. He remains nearby. He hopes the child will eventually realize that help has been available all along. That is how I have watched over you. I have stood on the other side of the walls that distractions built. I have listened through the barriers that busyness created. I have remained close while you wondered whether I was far away. There were moments when I gently called your attention. There were moments when I placed reminders in your path. There were moments when I whispered into your heart during quiet hours you almost ignored. Now I am asking you to do something simple. Stop assuming that distance means absence. Open the door. Turn your attention toward me. Take one honest step in my direction. Do not spend another season wondering whether I still care. Do not allow shame to convince you that you waited too long. Come and see for yourself that I am still here. Bring me your questions. Bring me your uncertainty. Bring me the parts of your heart that feel disconnected. Let us begin there. You do not need to climb a mountain to find me. You do not need to earn your way back into my presence. The walls may have felt real, but they never change my love for you. Walk toward me now, my child. I have been waiting patiently, and you will discover that while many things have changed around you, my commitment to you never has. And my child, now that you know I never moved away from you, understand that there are countless others still standing behind walls of distraction, fear, shame, and exhaustion, waiting to rediscover that I have been near all along. I am using this message as a trumpet in the night, calling wandering hearts back home before the darkness grows deeper around them. Every time you give through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you help break down those walls so another soul can encounter my presence again. I see every offering placed before me, and I tell you truly, no seed sown into my kingdom is ever forgotten. Just as rivers flow through dry land and bring life where death once lingered, your generosity carries my word into places you may never personally see. I will bless the hands that willingly build what heaven is breathing upon in this hour. Do not listen to the voice that says your contribution is too small, because I multiply surrendered obedience into miracles beyond human understanding. Open your heart, act immediately, and become part of the harvest I am gathering right now. My child, as you listen to these words, I know there may be a temptation to look backward and focus on all the moments you feel you missed. You may begin remembering the opportunities you let pass by. You may think about the times you ignored my invitations, postponed our conversations, or allowed distractions to take priority. You may even feel regret rising within you. Before that feeling grows any stronger, I want you to hear me clearly. I am not speaking to you in order to make you feel guilty. Guilt has a way of trapping people in the past. It keeps their eyes fixed on what should have happened instead of what can happen now. It convinces them that because mistakes were made, they no longer have the right to move forward. That is not my voice. My voice calls you forward. My voice invites you closer. My voice reminds you that every new moment contains an opportunity to begin again. Come and sit with me for a moment. Set aside the need to defend yourself. Set aside the temptation to judge yourself harshly. Let go of the belief that punishment is waiting for you on the other side of honesty. Bring your heart into the light exactly as it is. You may be surprised by what you find there. You will not find condemnation waiting for you. You will find compassion. You will find understanding. You will find a Father who knows every detail of your story and still welcomes you near. Think about the energy you have spent carrying regret. Think about how often you have replayed mistakes, wishing you could change what already happened. That burden has become heavier than it was ever meant to be. Give it to me. Release it. Stop carrying yesterday into every tomorrow. I am not interested in keeping a record of every moment you fell short. I am interested in helping you move forward. That is why I continue speaking to you. That is why I continue inviting you closer. That is why I continue reaching for your heart. Receive this invitation now. Stop punishing yourself for what cannot be changed. Open your heart to what can be restored. Look toward me instead of constantly looking behind you. Come and walk with me today. Let me heal what regret has wounded. Let me replace guilt with wisdom, shame with grace, and distance with connection. The purpose of these words is not to weigh you down. The purpose is to help you lay the weight down and discover that my arms are still open, exactly as they have always been. My child, one of the greatest misunderstandings many people carry about me is the belief that when they fall short, my first response is to push them away. Because of that belief, they begin hiding. They withdraw. They avoid the very relationship that could bring healing because they assume they must first overcome their struggles before approaching me. Perhaps you have done this more than once without even realizing it. I have watched you carry burdens in silence because you felt embarrassed by them. I have seen you avoid deeper conversations with me because you thought disappointment would be waiting on the other side. There were moments when you felt distant, and instead of moving closer, you stepped back even further. You told yourself you would reconnect after you became stronger, wiser, or more disciplined. Yet every step away only made the burden feel heavier. Come closer and listen carefully. The instinct to hide does not come from me. When your heart is wounded, I call you nearer. When you feel ashamed, I invite you into the light. When you feel weak, I offer strength rather than rejection. Look at your life honestly for a moment. Think about the struggles you have tried to carry alone. Think about the fears you have kept hidden. Think about the disappointments you rarely discuss. Have those things become lighter because you concealed them? Or have they grown heavier each time you carried them by yourself? You do not have to keep doing that. Bring those things to me now. Open the door you have kept closed. Stop rehearsing reasons why you should stay distant. Let me see the places you have been protecting. I already know they exist, my child. Nothing surprises me. Nothing about your story has caught me unprepared. What I desire is not your performance. What I desire is your trust. I want you to discover what happens when you stop hiding and start allowing yourself to be fully known. Come and sit with me. Bring your failures, your questions, your regrets, and your fears. Place them before me without trying to make them look better than they are. Let honesty replace avoidance. Let connection replace isolation. The enemy of your soul wants you to believe that guilt should keep you away from me. I am inviting you to discover the opposite. The very moments when you feel most tempted to hide are often the moments when you need my presence the most. So do not retreat. Come closer. Take my hand. Allow my love to meet you exactly where you are, and watch what begins to change when hiding is replaced by relationship. My child, there are nights when your body is tired, but your mind continues running long after the day is over. You lie down hoping for rest, yet your thoughts refuse to become quiet. One concern leads to another. One responsibility connects itself to the next. Plans, worries, unanswered questions, and future possibilities begin competing for your attention. Hours pass while your heart remains burdened by things you cannot solve in that moment. I see every one of those nights. I see the hidden pressure that other people never notice. I know the expectations you place upon yourself. I know the weight you carry for the people you love. I know the concerns you rarely speak aloud because you believe you should be strong enough to handle them on your own. Come and listen to me for a moment. You were never meant to carry all of that without help. Some of the burdens occupying your thoughts do not belong on your shoulders. Some of the situations keeping you awake are beyond your ability to control. Yet instead of releasing them, you keep holding them tighter, hoping that more worrying will somehow create more certainty. Has it brought you peace? Has it given you rest? Has it provided the answers you hoped it would? You already know the truth. The constant pressure is draining you. That is why I am inviting you to do something different. Bring your thoughts to me before they become overwhelming. Bring your concerns to me before they become anxiety. Bring your fears to me before they begin shaping the way you see the future. Stop trying to manage everything inside your own understanding. Come and sit quietly in my presence. Take a deep breath. Slow your pace. Release your grip on what you cannot control. And listen. Allow me to remind you that I am already present in the situations you are worrying about. I am already aware of the challenges ahead. I am already working in ways you cannot yet see. The future does not frighten me. The unknown does not surprise me. Let that truth settle into your heart. You do not have to solve tomorrow tonight. You do not have to carry every possibility in your mind. You do not have to live beneath the weight of constant pressure. Come to me instead. Give me the thoughts that refuse to leave you alone. Trust me with the concerns that keep returning. Let me hold what has become too heavy for you to carry. Your mind was not created to be a prison of endless worry, my child. It was created to receive peace. Open your heart and allow me to teach you how to rest again. My child, there is something happening inside you that has developed so gradually you may not have fully recognized it. You have spent so much time moving from one responsibility to another that stillness has started to feel unfamiliar. There was a time when quiet moments felt natural. There was a time when you could sit with your thoughts, reflect, and simply be present. And now, when life slows down, part of you immediately looks for something else to do. I understand why. You have lived through seasons that demanded constant attention. You have carried responsibilities that required focus and endurance. You have learned how to stay productive, how to keep going, and how to push through challenges. Those abilities helped you survive difficult moments. Yet what once served you well can become a burden when it prevents you from resting. Come and think about this honestly. How often do you reach for noise the moment silence appears? How often do you fill empty moments before they have a chance to breathe? When there is a pause in your day, do you allow yourself to be present, or do you immediately search for another distraction? I ask these questions because stillness is often where I meet you most clearly. When your attention is scattered, my voice becomes harder for you to notice. When your mind is racing, it becomes difficult for you to receive what I want to place in your heart. That does not mean I stop speaking. It simply means there is so much noise competing for your attention that my gentle invitation becomes easier to overlook. Come closer now. Do not run from stillness. Do not fill every empty space. Sit with me for a while. Allow your thoughts to slow down. Release the pressure to always be doing something. There are things I want to show you that cannot be seen while you are rushing. There is peace available to you that cannot be experienced through constant activity. There is wisdom waiting for you that often arrives during quiet moments rather than busy ones. You do not need to fear stillness, my child. The silence you avoid may contain the very answers you have been searching for. The quiet moments you keep postponing may hold the healing your heart needs. Instead of viewing stillness as wasted time, begin seeing it as sacred space. Come and sit with me there. Let your soul settle. Let your heart become quiet. Allow yourself to discover that stillness is not empty. When you invite me into it, stillness becomes a place where your spirit can finally hear what the noise has been drowning out for far too long. And my child, as you learn to make room for stillness again, understand that there are others wandering through the same exhaustion and noise you once carried. This message is becoming a resting place for weary souls, a quiet stream in a dry land, and I am using willing hearts to keep that stream flowing. Every seed you sow through super thanks, membership, or PayPal becomes oil for the lamp that is reaching those who feel forgotten, overwhelmed, and spiritually distant. Have I not told you, cast your bread upon the waters, for after many days you will find it again. I am breathing life into every act of generosity offered with love, and what you release into this mission will not return empty. If this message has helped you hear my voice again, then do not ignore the stirring in your spirit to help carry my word further. I will multiply what is given, protect what concerns you, and open doors you could not force open yourself. Sow your seed now through Super Thanks, become a member, or give through PayPal using the link in the description, and help me bring stillness, healing, and truth to the souls waiting to hear my voice. My child, I know there are questions living inside your heart right now. Some of them concern your future. Some involve decisions you need to make. Some are connected to relationships, responsibility, and situations that feel uncertain. You have spent a great deal of time thinking about them. You have analyzed possibilities, weighed options, and searched for clarity. Yet despite all that effort, some answers still seem just beyond your reach. There is a reason for that. Not every answer is discovered through more effort. Not every solution appears through more analysis. Some answers reveal themselves only when you stop running long enough to receive them. I want you to consider how often you have approached uncertainty by increasing your activity. When confusion appears, you try harder. When clarity feels distant, you search more aggressively. When fear enters the picture, you become even more determined to control the outcome. Yet there are moments when the very thing preventing you from hearing the answer is the constant movement itself. Come and listen carefully. You cannot hear a whisper while standing in the middle of a storm of noise. In the same way, your heart struggles to receive guidance when it is overwhelmed by endless activity and constant mental pressure. This is why I keep inviting you to slow down. I am not trying to delay your progress. I am creating space for you to hear what you have been missing. Bring your questions to me. Bring your uncertainty. Bring the decisions that have been weighing heavily on your mind. Then resist the urge to immediately solve everything. Sit with me. Listen. Wait. Trust that not every answer must arrive on your timeline. I know how uncomfortable they can feel. You prefer certainty. You want direction. You want to know what comes next. Yet some of the most important lessons in your life have been learned during seasons when you had to trust before you could see the entire path. Do not mistake waiting for inactivity. While you are waiting, I am working. While you are listening, I am preparing. While you are trusting, I am guiding circumstances in ways you cannot yet recognize. So stop exhausting yourself by chasing answers through sheer effort alone. Come closer instead. Invite me into the uncertainty. Let me carry the pressure that comes from believing you must figure everything out by yourself. The answer you seek may not be waiting at the end of more striving. It may be waiting in the quiet place where you finally allow yourself to stop running and trust me enough to lead. My child, there is something beautiful that happens when you stop demanding immediate answers and begin paying attention to the moments you normally overlook. You often imagine that clarity will arrive through a dramatic breakthrough, a sudden revelation, or a perfectly timed solution that removes every uncertainty. Sometimes that happens. More often, the guidance you are searching for arrives quietly, woven into ordinary moments that seem insignificant at first. The challenge is that you are frequently moving too fast to notice. I have spoken to you during simple moments that looked completely ordinary from the outside. I have placed insight into your heart while you were taking a walk, sitting in silence, driving alone, or reflecting at the end of a long day. There have been times when peace tried to settle over your mind, but you rushed ahead before allowing it to fully arrive. There have been moments when understanding was beginning to form, yet another distraction captured your attention before the thought had time to mature. Come closer and think about this with me. What if some of the answers you have been praying for have already begun appearing in small ways? What if the wisdom you seek has been arriving one step at a time rather than all at once? What if the reason clarity feels distant is not because I am withholding it, but because you have been expecting it to appear differently? Slow down and pay attention. Notice what stirs within your heart when the noise fades. Notice which thoughts continue returning with quiet consistency. And notice where peace appears and where confusion increases. Invite me into those observations. Do not dismiss the small impressions simply because they are not dramatic. Do not overlook the gentle guidance, because it arrives without fanfare. Many of the most important directions I have given my children throughout their lives began as simple invitations to trust, listen, and take one faithful step at a time. Come and sit with me before rushing into another decision. Let your spirit breathe. Resist the urge to force clarity through effort alone. Open your heart and allow me to reveal what you need to see when the time is right. You do not need to run ahead of my guidance. Walk beside me instead. Trust that I know how to lead you. The clarity you seek is often closer than you think. Sometimes it is waiting in the very moments you keep rushing through. Stay present. Stay available. Stay close. Then watch how understanding begins unfolding in ways that could never be discovered through constant hurry. My child, one reason you sometimes feel frustrated in your search for me is because you expect our connection to happen only in special settings. You imagine that meaningful moments with me require perfect circumstances, uninterrupted time, or a particular emotional atmosphere. Because of that expectation, you often overlook how frequently I have been reaching toward you in the middle of everyday life. I have never limited myself to extraordinary moments. I have met you while you were driving to work. I have been near during quiet moments before sleep. I have spoken gently into your thoughts while you stood in line, completed routine tasks, or sat alone for a few minutes between responsibilities. The problem has never been my absence. The problem has often been that you were looking somewhere else. Come and consider how many opportunities have passed unnoticed. Think about the brief pauses scattered throughout your day. Think about the moments when your attention softened just enough for reflection. Think about the times when a thought, a sense of peace, or a gentle conviction touched your heart before quickly being replaced by the next demand on your schedule. I was there. I am there more often than you realize. That is why I want to change the way you think about our relationship. Stop waiting for perfect conditions before making room for me. Invite me into the ordinary moments. Talk to me while you work. Speak with me while you travel. Bring your concerns to me while you prepare for the day ahead. Include me in the small spaces that usually go unnoticed. Open your eyes to the opportunities already surrounding you. Listen during the quiet moments. Pause before immediately reaching for another distraction. Allow yourself to become aware of my presence in places where you previously assumed I could not be found. I do not require an elaborate invitation. I simply desire your attention. Come and meet me in the ordinary. Let our conversations become part of your daily rhythm rather than something reserved for rare occasions. The more you welcome me into everyday moments, the more you will discover that I have been walking beside you through every part of your life. Do not overlook today's opportunities. Do not assume tomorrow will be better. Right now, in this ordinary moment, I am already here. Turn your attention toward me. Open your heart. Let us walk through this day together, and you will begin noticing that what once seemed ordinary has been filled with my presence all along. My child, there have been times when you asked me for a sign. You wanted clarity. You wanted certainty. You wanted something unmistakable that would remove every doubt and answer every question. I understand why. When life feels uncertain, your heart naturally longs for reassurance. You want to know that I am near. You want confirmation that I see what you are facing and that I have not forgotten you. But I want you to consider something carefully. What if I have been answering you in ways you did not expect? You often look for dramatic moments while overlooking the quiet ones. You wait for a door to swing open while ignoring the gentle nudge that is already guiding your next step. You hope for a thunderous answer while dismissing the peaceful conviction that keeps returning to your heart. Because my response does not always arrive in the form you anticipated, you sometimes conclude that I have not responded at all. Come and think about your recent journey. How many times have you felt unexpectedly protected from a decision that would have led you in the wrong direction? How many times has a conversation arrived at exactly the right moment? How many times have you received a sense of peace that made no logical sense given your circumstances? How many times have you felt a quiet prompting that continued returning until you finally paid attention? Do not dismiss those moments so quickly. I have always preferred relationship over spectacle. I am not trying to impress you. I am trying to guide you. My desire is not simply to capture your attention for a moment. My desire is to teach your heart how to recognize my presence in everyday life. Open your eyes. Pay attention. Look beyond your expectations. Notice the gentle ways I have already been reaching toward you. Come closer and stop measuring my involvement by how dramatic it appears. Some of the greatest acts of guidance in your life have arrived quietly. Some of the most important answers you ever received did not announce themselves with fanfare. They appeared through wisdom, peace, timing, protection, and opportunities that only made sense when you looked back. Invite me to sharpen your awareness. Ask me to help you recognize my voice. Slow down enough to notice what is already happening around you. You do not need a constant stream of dramatic signs to know I am with you. You need a heart that is willing to notice the countless ways I have been speaking all along. Come and walk with me more attentively, my child. You may discover that the evidence of my presence has been surrounding you far more often than you realized. My child, the gentle ways I have been reaching toward you are the same ways I am now reaching toward countless others through this message. Some are finding hope again in the quiet places, some are being rescued from despair, and some are recognizing my presence for the very first time. Do not overlook the sacred opportunity before you to become part of that harvest. Every offering given through super thanks, membership, or PayPal becomes a seed planted into hearts hungry for truth, and I will cause that seed to grow beyond what you can presently see. Did I not say, "Give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over"? I am calling my people to move beyond passive listening and become willing vessels that help my light continue reaching the weary, the distracted, and the broken. This is not coincidence. This is a divine moment of partnership between your obedience and my purpose. Act now. Support this mission through super thanks. Join as a member, or so through the PayPal link in the description, and watch how I breathe favor, provision, and fresh peace over your life. My child, one of the reasons you sometimes feel distant from me is because you have quietly attached my presence to certain conditions. You expect it to be easier to sense me when life is calm. You imagine it will be simpler to connect with me once your schedule becomes manageable, your problems become smaller, and your emotions become more stable. As a result, you keep postponing deeper connection until circumstances improve. Yet I have never required perfect conditions to be near you. Think about your life honestly. Some of the moments when you felt my presence most deeply did not happen during easy seasons. Many occurred when you were uncertain, overwhelmed, grieving, confused, or struggling to understand what was happening around you. Those are not perfect circumstances. They were difficult circumstances. Yet I was there. I am there now as well. Come closer and listen carefully. Do not wait for life to become ideal before making room for me. If you postpone connection until every problem is solved, you will spend much of your life waiting. There will always be another challenge to face. There will always be another responsibility demanding attention. There will always be another reason to delay. Instead, invite me into the life you have today. Invite me into the unfinished situation. Invite me into the uncertainty. Invite me into the questions that still lack answers. Bring me the stress, the frustration, the confusion, and the disappointment. Stop assuming that these things disqualify you from experiencing my presence. They do not. In fact, many of those moments become opportunities for deeper connection. When you stop pretending that everything is fine, you create space for honesty. When you stop waiting for perfection, you create space for relationship. When you stop trying to control every circumstance, you create space for trust. That is why I am inviting you to come as you are. Come with the burdens you are carrying. Come with the emotions you are struggling to understand. Come with the responsibilities that feel overwhelming. Come without pretending. Come without delaying. Come now. I do not need ideal conditions to meet with you. I do not require a perfect environment before I can speak to your heart. My presence is available in the middle of ordinary days, difficult seasons, unanswered questions, and imperfect circumstances. Stop waiting for a better moment. Open your heart in this moment. Let me walk beside you where you are rather than where you hope to be someday. You may discover that the closeness you have been searching for was never waiting on better conditions. It was waiting for your willingness to invite me into the conditions you already have. My child, there are times when you imagine I am easiest to find after everything has been resolved. You think you will feel closer to me once the project is completed, once the pressure decreases, once the uncertainty finally settles. Yet some of the most important moments of our relationship were never meant to happen after the struggle. They were meant to happen in the middle of it. I see the areas of your life that remain unfinished. I see the responsibilities that still demand your attention. I see the situations that have not worked out the way you hoped. I see the questions that remain unanswered and the burdens that continue following you from one day to the next. Nothing about those things has pushed me away. In fact, I often draw nearest when you are carrying more than you know how to manage. Come and think about this honestly. Some of the seasons that shaped your character most deeply were not the easy ones. They were the seasons when you had to keep moving forward without having all the answers. They were the seasons when your strength felt limited. They were the seasons when you discovered that your own resources could not carry you forever. Those were also the seasons when I carried you in ways you did not fully recognize at the time. Now I am inviting you to stop waiting for completion before seeking connection. Bring me your unfinished story. Bring me the project that still feels overwhelming. Bring me the relationship that remains complicated. Bring me the situation that refuses to resolve itself. Do not wait until everything is fixed before you invite me in. Invite me now. Walk with me through the process rather than asking me to meet you only at the destination. There is a reason I continue calling you closer during difficult seasons. Challenges have a way of revealing what truly supports your life. They expose where you place your trust. They reveal what happens when your own strength reaches its limit. Instead of viewing those moments as interruptions, allow them to become invitations. Come and lean on me. Stop carrying every burden as though it belongs exclusively to you. Trust me enough to share the weight. You are not walking through this season alone, my child. I am present in the unfinished places. I am present in the uncertainty. I am present in the moments when you feel stretched beyond what seems possible. Take my hand. Keep moving forward. Let me remind you that my presence is not waiting on the other side of your struggles. My presence is already with you in the middle of them. My child, there is something I want you to understand because it touches the deepest part of my heart. Throughout your life, you have often measured relationships by what you contribute. You learned that people appreciate effort. You learned that performance earns recognition. You learned that accomplishment attracts attention. Because of those experiences, it can become easy to assume that what matters most to me is what you do for me. But that has never been the center of my heart toward you. I am grateful when you use your gifts well. I am pleased when you act with integrity. I delight in seeing you grow and mature. Yet none of those things are what I miss most when distance develops between us. What I miss is you. I miss your attention. I miss your openness. I miss the simple conversations that happen when your heart is fully present. Come closer and let those words settle into your spirit. So much of your life has been spent trying to become enough. You have worked hard to meet expectations. You have pushed yourself to improve. You have invested tremendous energy into proving your value. Sometimes you carry those same habits into your relationship with me. You approach me through effort rather than relationship. You focus on what you should be doing instead of simply being with me. That is not what I am asking for. I do not need your accomplishments to validate my love for you. I do not need your performance to keep my attention. I do not need your success to remain committed to you. What I desire is connection. Sit with me for a moment and stop trying to oppress me. Lay down the pressure to perform. Release the belief that you must earn closeness. Open your heart and allow yourself to be known. Tell me what you are thinking. Share what has been weighing on you. Invite me into the places you usually keep hidden. Let our relationship become personal again. Many people spend their lives doing things for me while rarely allowing themselves to simply be with me. I do not want that for you. I want something deeper. I want a relationship that is built on trust, honesty, and genuine closeness. Come and give me your attention rather than your performance. Bring me your presence rather than your perfection. Walk with me rather than merely working for me. You may discover that the connection your soul has been longing for begins to return the moment you stop striving to prove yourself and simply allow yourself to be loved. My child, what I miss most has never been your accomplishments. What I miss most is sharing life with you. My child, there is something deeply personal I want to tell you. Out of everything that has changed over the years, out of all the responsibilities that have filled your schedule and all the demands that have competed for your focus, the thing I miss most is surprisingly simple. I miss your attention. Not because I need it to feel complete. I am not speaking from need. I am speaking from love. When someone loves deeply, attention becomes precious. It is one of the purest expressions of relationship. It says, "You matter to me." It says, "I am present with you." It creates space for connection that cannot be manufactured through effort alone. I have watched your attention become one of the most contested parts of your life. Every day something is asking for it. Notifications ask for it. Responsibilities ask for it. Deadlines ask for it. Concerns about the future ask for it. Even things that seem harmless slowly compete for the focus that once came more naturally. The result is not just that you have less time. The result is that your heart becomes divided. Come and think about this honestly with me. When your attention is constantly scattered, it becomes difficult to experience the depth of any relationship. You can be physically present while emotionally absent. You can be surrounded by people while your mind is somewhere else entirely. The same thing can happen in your relationship with me. You may still believe in me. You may still think about me. Yet your attention becomes so fragmented that meaningful connection begins fading into the background. I am inviting you to change that. Give me a few undistracted moments. Turn away from the noise for a little while. Set aside what can wait. Come and sit with me without an agenda. You do not need to arrive with perfect words. You do not need a long list of requests. Simply bring your attention. Bring your awareness. Bring your willingness to be present. Let your mind become quiet enough to notice me again. Let your heart become available again. Let our relationship move beyond hurried thoughts and occasional acknowledgments. There is something beautiful that happens when you offer your full attention. You begin noticing what was always there. You begin hearing what was always being spoken. You begin recognizing my presence in ways that busyness made difficult to see. So pause for a moment, my child. Stop rushing. Stop multitasking your way through another day. Turn your attention toward me. A simple choice may open a door to the closeness your soul hath been longing for. More than anything else, I miss sharing those moments with you. My child, attention is one of the greatest offerings you can give, and when your heart responds to my voice with generosity, heaven notices. Right now, there are souls searching in the darkness for one reminder that I have not forgotten them, and I am using this message like fire upon a lampstand to reach them before they lose hope. Every gift sown through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal helps carry my word farther than you realize, opening doors for healing, restoration, and renewed faith in places you may never personally see. Remember when I said those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed? I am watching every willing hand that chooses to support what is feeding my people spiritually in this hour. Do not underestimate the power of a single obedient act placed into my hands, because I know how to multiply loaves, fill empty jars with oil, and make rivers flow in dry places. If this ministry has helped bring your attention back to me, then answer the invitation I am placing before your heart right now. Give through Super Thanks, become a member, or sow through the PayPal link in the description, and help keep this river of encouragement flowing to the ones crying out for my presence. My child, there was a time when you brought everything to me. You shared your excitement without hesitation. You talked to me about small concerns that others might have considered insignificant. You trusted me with your hopes, your fears, your questions, and even the thoughts you could not fully understand yourself. There was a freedom in that relationship because you were not trying to manage every part of your life before inviting me into it. I remember those conversations. I remember the honesty. I remember the openness. What I miss is not a particular season of your life. What I miss is the trust that allowed those conversations to happen so naturally. Somewhere along the journey, you began carrying more things internally. You became more cautious. You started processing certain struggles by yourself. You held back thoughts you once would have shared freely. Perhaps you felt pressure to have stronger faith. Perhaps disappointment made you more guarded. Perhaps life simply became so busy that those conversations gradually became less frequent. Whatever the reason, I want you to know that my invitation has never changed. Come back to that openness. Bring me the thoughts you think are too small to matter. Bring me the questions you are afraid to ask. Bring me the frustrations you have been trying to hide. Bring me the dreams you have stopped talking about. Open your heart and allow me into the conversation again. You do not need to protect me from your honesty. You do not need to filter every emotion before bringing it into my presence. I already know what is happening within you. The purpose of openness is not to inform me. The purpose is to strengthen the relationship between us. Think about any close relationship in your life. Trust grows where honesty exists. Connection deepens where openness is welcomed. The same is true here. The more you allow me into your real thoughts, the more you will experience the closeness you have been missing. So stop carrying every thought alone. Stop assuming you must figure everything out before speaking to me. Invite me into the unfinished conversations inside your heart. Talk to me while you are uncertain. Talk to me while you are processing. Talk to me while you are still searching for answers. Come and trust me with the real version of yourself. That is the relationship I have always wanted with you, my child. Not one built upon appearances, but one built upon trust. Open your heart again. Let me hear what is on your mind, and allow yourself to experience the comfort that comes from being fully known and fully loved at the same time. My child, there are treasures I have been longing to reveal to you, insights I want to place within your heart, and directions I want to make clear. Yet many of these things cannot be received in an atmosphere of constant noise. They are not hidden because I enjoy keeping secrets from you. They remain unseen because your life has become so crowded with competing voices that the quieter things struggle to find room to settle within you. I see how much information surrounds you every day. Opinions compete for your attention. Demands pull on your thoughts. Worries ask to be considered. Endless distractions offer themselves as companions. Little by little, the noise becomes so familiar that silence begins to feel unusual. But listen carefully to me. Not everything valuable arrives loudly. Some truths need space. Some answers require patience. Some forms of wisdom emerge only when your heart becomes still enough to receive them. Come closer and allow yourself to consider what might happen if you stop filling every empty moment. What might you hear if you spent less time consuming noise and more time listening? What might become clear if you gave your soul permission to rest in my presence without rushing toward the next task? I am inviting you into something deeper than information. I am inviting you into understanding. There is a difference. Information can fill your mind while leaving your heart unchanged. Understanding reaches deeper. It reshapes perspective. It changes the way you see yourself, your circumstances, and your future. Many of the things I want to show you belong in that deeper place. So come and sit with me. Turn down the volume of the voices competing for your attention. Set aside the pressure to constantly consume more. Make room for reflection. Make room for stillness. Make room for my presence. Do not assume that silence means nothing is happening. Some of the most important work I do within you happens beneath the surface. Seeds grow in quiet places. Healing often begins where there is space to breathe. Direction becomes clearer when competing voices lose their influence. I want to show you things about your purpose. I want to show you things about your identity. I want to show you things about the path ahead. But first, I need your attention. Not hurried attention. Not distracted attention. Genuine attention. Come and give me that gift, my child. Let the noise settle. Let your heart become available. What I have been trying to show you may be closer than you think. It has simply been waiting for a quieter place to land. My child, there are burdens you have carried for so long that they have started feeling normal. You wake up with them. You move through your day with them. You have become so accustomed to their presence that you rarely stop to question whether they belong there at all. What once felt heavy has become familiar, and familiarity can sometimes disguise the damage that prolonged weight is causing. I see those burdens clearly. I see the concerns you revisit repeatedly. I see the disappointments you have not fully released. I see the fears that quietly influence your decisions. I see the unresolved pain that still occupies space within your heart. You may have learned how to function while carrying these things, but functioning is not the same as being free. Come and listen carefully. There is a difference between carrying a burden for a season and carrying it indefinitely. Some burdens rhyme with a purpose. They teach lessons. They develop character. They reveal where growth is needed. Yet there comes a point when what was meant to be temporary becomes permanent only because you never released it. I am asking you to stop and examine what you have been carrying. Look honestly at the weight resting on your heart. Ask yourself which burdens belong to this moment and which burdens belong to yesterday. Ask yourself what you have been holding simply because you no longer remember how to set it down. And bring those things to me. Do not merely identify them. Release them. Open your hands. Stop gripping them so tightly. Trust me enough to let them go. I know that can feel difficult. Some burdens become intertwined with your identity. Some wounds become so familiar that healing feels strange. Some worries have accompanied you for so long that life without them seems unfamiliar. Yet I did not create you to live beneath constant emotional weight. Come closer. Let me carry what has become too heavy. Let me help you separate responsibility from unnecessary burden. Let me show you what freedom feels like again. You do not have to keep carrying every disappointment into the future. You do not have to keep reliving old fears. You do not have to keep protecting wounds that I am ready to heal. Bring them to me now. Not tomorrow. Not after you have become stronger. Now. Your heart was never meant to serve as permanent storage for pain, anxiety, regret, and endless pressure. Lay those burdens before me, my child. The longer you carry what I am willing to carry for you, the longer you postpone the peace I have been inviting you to receive. Let it go. Come closer. Allow me to lighten what has weighed upon your heart for far too long. My child, one of the reasons you become so exhausted is because you have accepted responsibility for things that were never yours to carry alone. Some of those burdens entered your life unexpectedly. Others developed over time through worry, disappointment, fear, and the pressure to hold everything together. Little by little, you became accustomed to carrying them. You adjusted to the weight. You learned how to keep functioning beneath it. Yet just because you have learned to carry something does not mean you were designed to live that way. I want you to hear my heart carefully. You would be surprised by how much I am willing to carry for you. You often assume that bringing your burdens to me means simply talking about them. It is far deeper than that. When you truly place something in my hands, you stop treating it as though its outcome depends entirely upon your strength. You stop gripping it so tightly. You stop allowing it to dominate your thoughts every hour of the day. You begin trusting that I am capable of holding what has become too heavy for you. Come and think about the things that have been draining your peace. Think about the worries that return repeatedly. Think about the situations you can't control. Think about the fears that keep asking for your attention. Now bring them before me. Do not merely mention them. Release them. Open your hands and surrender them. Trust me enough to stop carrying them as though you are alone. I know that surrender can feel uncomfortable. Part of you believes that if you stop worrying, you will become careless. Part of you fears that releasing control means becoming irresponsible. Yet there is a difference between responsibility and burden. Responsibility asks you to do what you can. Burden convinces you that everything depends on you. That is not the life I want for you. Come and sit with me more often. Stay longer than usual. Allow your heart to become honest. Let me show you how much weight you have been carrying unnecessarily. Let me teach you what it feels like to trust instead of constantly striving. You do not have to manage every outcome. You do not have to predict every future problem. You do not have to solve every situation before resting. Bring those weights to me, my child. Lay them down one by one. The peace you are searching for is often found on the other side of surrender. Spend time with me. Let me carry what has become too heavy. You may discover that your soul has been longing for relief far more than you realized. My child, as you release your burdens into my hands, understand that there are countless others still carrying silent weights they no longer know how to bear. I am using messages like this to lift weary hearts, break chains of despair, and remind my children they were never meant to walk alone. Every seed you sow through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal becomes part of that work, like bread multiplied in my hands to feed multitudes who are spiritually exhausted and searching for hope. Did I not promise that whoever sows generously will also reap generously? I am inviting you into something far greater than a transaction. This is kingdom work, holy ground, and a divine assignment unfolding in real time. The enemy wants people isolated, distracted, and spiritually numb, but your generosity helps carry my truth into places darkness has tried to claim. I will honor the hearts that give willingly, and I will release peace, provision, and unexpected favor over those who support what is advancing my voice in this generation. Do not delay the prompting you feel right now. Sow through Super Thanks, join as a member, or give through the PayPal link in the description and become part of the harvest I am gathering. My child, after everything we have talked about, you may be expecting a complicated answer. You may think I am about to give you a long list of requirements, a detailed plan, or a difficult set of instructions. That is often how people approach relationships. They assume restoration must be complicated. They believe reconnecting requires extraordinary effort. They imagine they must somehow make up for lost time before they can move forward. But my invitation to you is much simpler than that. I'm asking you to come closer. That is where it begins. Not with perfection. Not with performance. Not with a promise that you will never struggle again. Simply come closer. I know how easy it is to overcomplicate what should be simple. You start thinking about everything you need to improve. You focus on all the reasons you feel unqualified. You create mental obstacles that convince you the journey back to deeper connection will be difficult. Meanwhile, I continue standing here with the same invitation I have always offered. Come and spend time with me. Talk with me. Listen for my voice. Open your heart. Bring me your ordinary life. That is enough to begin. Do not underestimate the power of small steps taken consistently. A single honest conversation can open a door. A few quiet moments can begin restoring awareness of my presence. A simple act of turning your attention toward me can start changing the direction of your heart. That is why I am asking you not to wait. Do not postpone this invitation until next week. Do not assume there will be a better season. Do not convince yourself that tomorrow will be easier. Respond today. Set aside a few moments. Turn away from the distractions. Sit quietly. Invite me into your thoughts. Allow our relationship to become personal again. I am not asking you to figure everything out first. I am not asking you to solve every problem before coming near. The burdens can come with you. The questions can come with you. The uncertainty can come with you. Just come. Take one step. Then take another. Walk with me through the ordinary moments of your life and watch what begins to change. You may discover that the closeness you have been longing for was never hidden behind complicated requirements. It was waiting behind a simple invitation that had been extended to you all along. My child, hear me clearly. Come closer. Let us begin again. My child, as I speak to you now, I do not want you to hear another responsibility being added to your life. I do not want these words to become another item on a list of things you feel pressured to accomplish. If that is how you hear my invitation, then you have missed my heart. I am not calling you into obligation. I am calling you back into relationship. There is a difference. Obligation says you must. Love says you are invited. Obligation drains the heart when it stands alone. Relationship nourishes it. That is why I want you to stop viewing time with me as something that competes with the rest of your life. Stop treating our connection as another demand on your schedule. Begin seeing it for what it truly is, a source of strength, wisdom, peace, and renewal that your soul was designed to receive. Come and think about your life honestly. When you neglect food, your body feels the effects. When you neglect rest, your energy begins to fade. When you neglect meaningful relationships, loneliness begins to grow. In the same way, when your connection with me is pushed aside for long periods, your soul feels the absence, even if you cannot immediately identify what is wrong. That is not punishment. That is design. I created you for relationship with me. I created you to walk with me. I created you to receive from me, not merely work for me. So make room for me again. Not because you are afraid. Not because you feel guilty. Not because you are trying to earn something. Make room for me because your heart needs what only my presence can provide. Invite me into the beginning of your day. Invite me into your decisions. Invite me into your concerns. Invite me into your victories. Let our relationship become part of your life rather than something separated from it. Come and sit with me when no emergency exists. Come and talk with me when you are not asking for anything. Come and allow yourself to enjoy my presence without rushing away. You may be surprised by how much begins changing when connection becomes a priority rather than an afterthought. Peace grows where relationship is nurtured. Perspective becomes clear. Burdens become lighter. The soul begins breathing again. My child, stop surviving on spiritual leftovers. Stop giving me only what remains after everything else has taken its share. Make room for me again. Not because I am demanding it, but because I love you enough to remind you that your soul was never meant to thrive without the relationship for which it was created. My child, there is one truth I want to settle deeply into your heart before we move any further. No matter how distracted you have become, no matter how busy life has been, no matter how many invitations from me you have overlooked, I have never forgotten you. Not once. There were days when your attention was focused everywhere except on me, yet I was still watching over you. There were seasons when you spoke to everyone else more than you spoke to me, yet I still listened whenever your heart turned in my direction. There were moments when you wondered whether you had drifted too far, yet my love for you remained unchanged. I want you to sit with the truth. Many people secretly fear that distance weakens love. They assume that because they have neglected a relationship, the relationship itself must have disappeared. Human relationships sometimes work that way. Time, neglect, and distance can erode them. But my love for you does not operate according to those limitations. My attention has never left you. My care has never diminished. My commitment has never weakened. Come closer and stop measuring my faithfulness by your consistency. If that were the standard, you would constantly live in uncertainty. Instead, I want you to anchor your heart in something stronger. Anchor it in my character. Anchor it in my love. Anchor it in the reality that I remain faithful even during seasons when you struggle. Think about how many times I protected you when you were unaware of it. Think about how many times I guided you when you did not recognize the guidance. Think about how many times I carried you through situations that could have overwhelmed you. I was there. I am still here. That has not changed. Now receive this invitation. Stop dwelling on how much time has been lost. Stop focusing on what should have happened. Stop allowing regret to speak louder than hope. Turn your attention toward what is available now. Come and spend time with me today. Open your heart today. Trust me today. The past does not have the authority to cancel the invitation that stands before you in this moment. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not too late. My child, even when you became busy with many things, I continued holding your name close to my heart. Let that truth comfort you. Let it strengthen you. Then come closer and experience for yourself that the love waiting for you today is the same love that has been waiting for you all along. My child, after everything I have shared with you, I want to leave you with one final truth. I do not want you to walk away carrying pressure. I do not want you to leave this conversation feeling overwhelmed by everything you think you need to change. My desire is much simpler than that. I want you to know that I am still here, right now, in this moment. Not after you become stronger, not after you become more disciplined, not after you finally organize every part of your life. I am here now. For so long, you have been moving from one responsibility to another, one concern to the next, one obligation after another. You have been running because life demanded your attention. You have been running because people needed things from you. You have been running because standing still sometimes felt more difficult than continuing forward. I understand that. I have watched every step. I have seen every burden. I have remained beside you through every season. Now I am inviting you to do something that may feel unfamiliar. Stop for a moment. Not forever. Just long enough to notice that I am here. Take a breath and let your heart settle. Set down the pressure to keep proving yourself. Release the belief that everything depends on you. Open the door of your heart and let me into the places that have become crowded with worry, distraction, and exhaustion. Come and sit with me. Let us continue the conversation that life interrupted so many times. Tell me what has happened since we last spoke honestly. Tell me what has been weighing on you. Tell me what you are hoping for. Tell me what you are afraid of. And listen. Not because I have been silent. Listen because you are finally giving yourself permission to hear me again. My child, you never needed to travel far to find me. The distance you felt was never measured in miles. It was measured in attention. It was measured in awareness. It was measured in the countless moments when life became so loud that you could no longer recognize how close I remained. But I never left. I am still the same father who has walked beside you through every victory, every disappointment, every unanswered question, and every difficult season. So come back. Come without fear. Come without excuses. Come without delay. Do not spend another season wondering whether I still want you near. You already have your answer. I am here. I have always been here. And whenever you are ready to stop running for a moment, you will find me waiting with open arms, ready to continue the conversation exactly where we left it. And my child, before you leave this moment, hear me clearly. This conversation is not ending here. I am still calling prodigals home, still lifting the weary, still awakening hearts that believe they were too far gone. And I am using this message to reach them while there is still time. Every act of generosity through super thanks, membership, or PayPal becomes another flame burning in the darkness, another stream of living water reaching souls desperate for hope and truth. Have I not declared freely you have received, freely give? What you place into my hands today will become part of a harvest far bigger than yourself, touching lives across cities, homes, and nations in ways only eternity will fully reveal. This is more than support for a channel. This is participation in my work of drawing hearts back into relationship with me before distraction, and despair consume them completely. I see every obedient giver, and I will not forget the seeds sown with faith, love, and reverence for my presence. So act now. Send your super thanks. Become a member or so through the PayPal link in the description, and help me continue this conversation with every soul still waiting to hear my voice. My child, if this message touched a place in your heart that needed to hear it, consider sharing it with at least 3 people you care about. Someone close to you may be carrying burdens in silence, feeling distant, forgotten, or exhausted, and this could be the reminder they have been waiting for. Sometimes a simple act of sharing becomes a light along another person's path, and I can use even that small step to reach a heart that needs my love today. And before you go, I want you to do something important. If this message spoke directly to your heart, go into the comments and declare, "Father, I'm making room for you again." Let that declaration be more than words. Let it be the beginning of a new season where you stop running, stop postponing, and start walking closely with me again. Your comment may also become the confirmation someone else needs to remember that they are not forgotten, and that I am still waiting with open arms. My child, if today you realize that you have been running for too long and that it is time to make room for me again, subscribe and continue this journey with me. Let these messages become a place where your heart finds rest, where your faith is strengthened, and where you are reminded that I have never forgotten you. Stay connected, because what I want to do in your life is not finished yet. Amen.